Yeah, live. Today is 17th of May, and this is Weekend America Scrum. We have John, Sampriti, and me in the house. Let's start. Well, let's start with Sampriti, if you can speak. Sampriti, do you have microphone on now or not? I see. So he's saying that he's paired with Marcel on website 1 today. Okay, and what are your plans for tomorrow? Scala course. Oh, AngularJS. Okay, I see. Okay, thank you, Sampriti. John?
Yesterday, like we spoke about at the last America Scrum, I was rewriting my invitation logic to a different format, and I finally crystallized that in this pull request that I sent in.
You've done it
And
with Sampriti and Marian. Yeah?
I've had Sam pretty look at it. I've actually had Raphael look at it.
Yeah.
I didn't involve Marion in this. This has mostly been me working solo because I was the one responsible for implementing this logic in the first place, and I just sort of was also the only one interested in refactoring it. It's been great for me though. I've learned a lot. So anyway, I finally come up with a solution that I'm very happy with. We'll see if Sam is happy. He's very picky about lots of things, but um, I think it I think it makes sense once he looks at it. He'll understand it. And then as for what I'm going to do, and okay, nothing's blocking me. And as for what I'm going to do, it's going to be the same as the same. Pretty been working on the Scala course, and I also want to finish up some of the new tutorials released by Code School for Angular. And they're very simple. I don't expect to learn a lot, but still reviewing the basics is a good idea.
What is Scala course, actually, and where is
This
it?
is something on Coursera. It's taught by the inventor of the language, Scala, and it's an introduction to functional programming with Scala. So of course you learn a lot of Scala, but it's meant to be academic and to teach you the ideas of functional programming, which is great. I mean, I might just decide I love Scala and do Scala forever after this point, but also it applies to Ruby because Ruby can be functional, or many of the other functional languages that I'm interested in.
What other functional languages do you know?
Well, JavaScript is functional, although it's sort of like a dirty version because it breaks a lot of the rules too. A popular functional language among Rubyists is Elixir because it's uses Ruby syntax, very similar to Ruby syntax. And there's many, many others. But the basic idea of well, the reason why functional languages are having a renaissance is because for the past 5 years, computer hardware has not been able to produce faster processors because of complications with overheating and such.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, they've been just giving you multiple processors.
Mm-hmm.
And the regular imperative languages have problems working on multiple cores because you have to put a bunch of locks on certain places in your code that make sure that when one core is doing something, another core is not doing the same thing and like changes the information that the first one was working with and then completely confuses it. Where functional languages, just as a general rule, do not do that because they work in a way that everything is a copy of the previous thing, and so there's not a chance that I'm working on the same thing that you are when
Mm-hmm.
we're working on different cores. Um, and I'm just a rookie at this, so that's just probably a very superficial answer. But I think we're gonna in the future, like maybe 10 years from now, all devices are gonna have like 100 cores on it, and it's just not going to be viable for people to program in languages that don't make concurrency and parallelism easy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really where functional languages shine. So
But
I'm
I
excited
thought
about it.
I thought with C Sharp uh, and Java they use multi-cores.
They
Or
can, and
mm-hmm.
they do, and Ruby can as well, as long as it's not Ruby on MRI. There's actually a version of Ruby that's written on top of Java.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And that's okay, but you basically have to do a lot of things to your code where you lock certain pieces to
Hmm.
not do the wrong thing during a concurrency environment. And
Hmm.
that's just like a lot of extra conceptual work that you have to go into, and there's all these subtle bugs that can come in if you don't lock it in the right way. So that's why languages that make this natural and not hard to do are beginning to, return as popular.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool because like it was object-oriented languages when it was languages like Ruby that with very high-level languages, and now we're returning to functional.
Yeah,
Interesting, yeah,
yeah.
interesting paradigm. Okay, okay. Well, thank you. Well, my turn. Uh, oh, Sempriti asked about Continue Fantasy Hub tomorrow with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
probably.
Lisp is purely functional language. Lisp. Oh, I've heard about Lisp. Actually, I've tried to do something in Lisp, but it was too far away. Yeah,
I
too
think it
too
was
long ago.
invented like in the 50s, like
Yes,
1958.
yes, it's very old language, Lisp.
Very old and very well respected.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, my turn. Yesterday I made America's Scrum, and that's it. Today I made Euro Scrum and America's Scrum. Actually, on Euro Scrum nothing appeared. No one appeared, but it's okay. I'll just proceed to doing them. Nothing blocking me. I've I've discussed with Yaro about the new project that he wants to do, but it was about 1 month ago, and after that I haven't seen him, so I don't know what's happened. So just waiting for him to be participating in some of our projects. And for now, I've started to learn about a BPM system called Pega, on which I working as a Scrum Master. But I've decided to go deeper into details of this system. It's quite interesting too, and of course it's not so popular as Ruby, but it's not a programming language. It's a system for enterprises, especially for financial corporations, when you can easily make good program with your hands very fast.
What is it called?
Pega systems, Pega BPM. It's some of them like Oracle BPM, IBM Lombardi, and Pega systems. And Pega, one of the most popular among BPM systems. But it's not only about programming. It's more about understanding business processes of your clients uh, and develop based on that processes flows and UIs uh, and some rules there, and it works in corporate environment. Actually, it is. I found it quite easy to develop there, and I know that demand for developers in this system are very big. Actually, yeah. So it's interesting to study something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, any other questions we can discuss?
Is it implemented on top of Java?
Uh, I don't know right now. I thought yes, it is. Well, it uses Java and J2EE application, but I also heard that it has something with .NET, and because this is concurrent technology, so I'm not sure that it is implemented on Java. But actually, we can easily find it. Pega PRPC and Java. No, it's not Java. Uh, we use Java there for some additional functionality that basic Pega cannot beat, but core Java based. Yes, it's Java based. Oh, I don't know. Strange .NET patterns. Uh, let's look. Mm, Core Java-based object-oriented rules engine. Mm, mm, I think it's. Yeah, it seems like it's on Java-based. Yeah, yeah. And we also use JavaScript there when it goes to using UI forms. We want to make functionality more rich in case of UI. We're using JavaScript to do some different things there.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's something totally different because it's enterprise, like ERP systems, CRM systems, and also at kind of BPM systems. And community of developers are uh, much more narrow than community of Ruby developers, for example. And this is very expensive system to buy. So only rich financial corporations or insurance corporations buy in that system, and they invest in a lot of money to that system.
Yeah,
And
it
yeah.
seems to be something that you don't need to be a developer to use. That because you consider yourself a business analyst or you've done business analyst work, and it's like targeted for your
Well, actually,
uh,
many developers
workflow.
working there, pure developers actually.
Okay.
It's just there are two different ways of work. For example, first, when you just gathering requirements, the idea of Pega is to use it's called direct capture of objective sessions, where you can easily make UIs and some flows directly in the system, and you discuss with client what he or she wants to see directly, and you can make mock-up of web form very fast. And after the discussion, you specify requirements in the special objects of Pega, and all that you move into you giving all of that to pure developers, and developer make the system better.
Okay,
So
so it's a prototyping tool
yes, yes, it's
that
product.
the business side of things use to make a very good mock-up of what they want, and then they give it to developers to rewrite it in
Yes,
Java or whatever. Okay,
yes, yes,
interesting.
that's right. Not in Java, in internal language, because uh, it is it's constructed with many. I can actually maybe I can show you. Wait a second. I switched off broadcast. Oh, hi Brian, by the way.
Hey, hey, hey guys.
Hi guys. Okay, I switched off
What are you
broadcasting.
guys talking
I
about?